right, everybody, welcome back to Off the Shelf Underground. My name is Lo.
My name is Marcus.
And we have two very special guests here today. We have the Salon Training Director from UCAS, the University of Cosmetology, Arts and Science, Ms. Neva Ozuna. And we also have the Director of the school at the University of Cosmetology, Arts and Sciences, McAllen campus, Ms. Erica Rios. How y'all doing today?
Nice to meet you.
You doing, huh?
I'm good.
All right, Ms. Rios, you doing
I'm
well?
doing great. Thank you.
All right. So I'm glad y'all here today.
Thank you for taking the time to see us today.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you for the invite.
Of course.
So what I'm going to do, I received some information from the University of Cosmetology, Arts and Science, and I'm going to just go over it real quick before we get into the questions, all right? So let's see. It says that originally the name of the school was Magic Valley Beauty College, and that was established in 1955 in San Juan.
Okay.
Aren't you from San Juan?
I'm from far.
Oh, sorry.
It's just pretty much the same thing.
Right.
The only thing that
Right
divides
down
us is one street.
Right. So let's see. In 1976, it was purchased by Mr. Sergio Shear and Miss Lucinda Labor Shear.
Okay.
That's like 46 years ago. All right, so in 1984, the school name changed to UCAS, University of Cosmetology, Arts and Sciences, and they have 5 locations.
Okay.
They have 3 in the Valley and 2 in San Antonio. It also says that UCAS, University of Cosmetology, Arts and Sciences, the president, vice president, and the founder of the University of Cosmetology, Arts and Sciences are licensed instructors, cosmetology instructors, and they have their degrees in education and marketing and public relations.
Mm-hmm. The whole
and then
package.
it says the core of the institution is to educate true life scenarios to the students to help them in the industry, basically. The primary purpose of the institution is to better prepare the students to obtain a PhD. PhD means professional hair designer.
I like that.
Me too, that's dope, right? All right, so let's see here. What else did it say? They teach their students more than just how to do hair and nails and facials and everything like that. They also teach them business fundamentals. Okay, let me see.
So how to make money with
how to make money, how to retail, I guess, how to read book, all those tangibles about the business, I would say, right?
Of course.
All right, so it says, let's see here, their mission. The mission of the institution is to provide students a quality cosmetology, related education by preparing students for licensing and gainful employment. So they don't not only want their students to learn how to do hair, they also want them to find a job.
Know how to do business.
Yes, sir, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
And then it goes on to say, education development in all programs, which is technical skills, people and communication skills, personal image, hygiene. You know how I feel about hygiene. It's very, very important. Personal goal orientations, promptness, dependability, and sales ability. Let's see. UCAS is accredited or has been accredited since 1978, which is 44 years. Who is the accrediting body for UCAS?
It's actually NACAS.
NACAS? Okay, and let me see.
What's NACAS?
NACAS, by definition, the accreditation, by definition, is the action of an officially recognizing someone, which would be UCAS, as having a particular status of being qualified to perform a particular activity. So I would think, like, if you have a big business or something like that, even most schools, even high schools, any kind of school, they have accreditations to just say that they are about their business, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
All right, almost done. Let's see. So they have cosmetology operator, esthetician, manicurist, aesthetics and manicurist combined specialist, and the eyelash extension specialist, which would be Sugar Lash, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the product that they use. I heard it's a good product. Let me see. So they say, why enroll into UCAS? Because they focus on the student success. They teach the newest technologies. They teach with the professional lines, like Chi, Lanza, Only Yours, C&D, Sugar Lash, which I just said, and just to name a few. And they assist their students in mock salon interviews. They also coach them how to develop a QR code, portfolio, and social media platforms.
Wow.
Now, financial aid is available for those that qualify. They also have a running salon, which the students, these students render the service, but they're supervised by licensed instructors. So that's dope. They don't just leave them there like that. Now, the educators are licensed to the state, as well as the school director, which is Ms. Rios, and the salon training director, which is Ms. Ozuna. And lastly, their current promotion right now, they have a 10% discount off the cost of tuition for this month. They also have a second chance program, which is 10% off the outstanding balance. So I take it like if someone was to drop from the school or couldn't finish school, they will allow them to come back and finish what they started.
Okay, that's
right?
awesome.
That is awesome,
Yeah,
right?
Instead of making them start over.
Instead of
Yeah.
making them start
Okay.
over. Okay, so I think that's awesome. So they say if you did not complete your career for unforeseen circumstances, that they embrace you. So just stop by and talk to the career plan advisor so they can get back in school.
That's awesome.
That is awesome, right?
Good on you,
Right.
Cus.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, moving on. Now, where are you from, Miss Ozuna?
From Edinburgh.
From Edinburgh?
Okay.
Yeah, myself, I'm from Edinburgh.
Edinburgh as well.
Okay.
So when did you enroll into UCAS?
2012.
In 2012? And what made you do that?
I was bored with my job.
You was bored with your job.
Yeah.
So basically you were looking for a career.
What
Yes.
were you doing?
I sold insurance for a long time.
Okay.
I managed 4 different stores in the McAllen area, but it was just I was making really good money,
I'm
but
sure.
I didn't.
It wasn't
was
your
just going to
passion.
work,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
wanted to do something that I was passionate about.
That's
Right.
good.
And people say
That's
all
good.
money ain't good money.
No.
You know what I mean? You really have to love what you do.
I mean, I
Yeah.
missed the money. But
No, but there is
Right.
a sacrifice,
Yeah.
though, you know, because like you're tapping more into your individualism,
Yes.
more into things that you like,
yes.
and I mean, you might as well just go for it. Like, not mundane jobs. I mean, anybody who's selling insurance and doing well and likes it, I'm sure they're doing their own thing, but I'm sure there's a lot of other people that don't step out of their comfort zone to do
Exactly.
things that they want to do.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And it's cool to always see people conquer that
Yeah.
that little hurdle,
Mhm.
because it is scary
It
Yeah.
can be scary.
Yeah.
It can be scary, but I mean, sometimes scary is good.
for sure.
You have to get out there.
Yeah.
Same question for you, Ms. Rios. How many years have you been in your profession?
Since 2011.
And what made you want to go into the field?
Well, I worked for attorneys for so many years, and I was making money for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, and I would pay a lot of money for my hair.
Right.
So I said, you know what, I'm in the wrong business. So I did go to cosmetology because I wanted to open my own business.
Okay. And did you do that?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. That's
Okay.
awesome.
I did have it for 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
but then I went to the teaching part.
Okay. And that's really my next question. So let me go back here real quick. After completing your hours as a student, okay, and I'll ask you first this time. After completing your hours as a student, what made you want to become an instructor?
Well, first of all, there at UCAS University of Cosmetology Arts and Science, they prepped me for me to pass my written and my practical exam. They
Okay.
also assisted me to get my license and work in the industry. But while I was there as a student, I'm a fast learner,
Right.
and I have to be busy all the time.
Right.
So I was finished with my work, but then I see classmates that were taking a little bit longer to learn, so I would assist them.
Ah,
awesome.
okay.
So I say, you know, wait a minute.
I'm
I
good at
think
this.
this is going to be something that I could fall back on.
Right.
So I did. I work in the industry, but then, you know what? Let me go back for my teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So I did. While I was doing there, I was doing actually taking over classes because that's part of your training.
Right.
And I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. Never in my mind thought I was going to be teaching.
Right.
I said, no, I don't have patience. Different
You
kind of
do.
teaching, but it's
But you never know what the future holds.
exactly
Yeah, yeah.
because it's we teach, but adults.
Right.
So we are teachers.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It needed the right thing for you to teach.
Oh yeah.
That's
Mhm,
awesome.
For sure. Same question for you, Mal. What compelled you to be an instructor after you finished getting your license?
Pretty much the same thing as Ms. Rios, but coming from the insurance background, you know, I had to train my agents and stuff. So as a student, when I was there, same thing as Ms. Rios, you learn pretty quick, and others look up to you, and they start asking like, well, how do you do this? And you start seeing that, you know, I might have
More here.
more, yeah.
Yeah.
And so as I finished the school with my hours, regular Cosmo, got my license. I was working at a salon. I was managing that salon, but I also got to work with Ms. Rios at her salon.
Oh,
And
wow.
Oh, okay.
she was somewhere along the way. I was a night student, but she was a day instructor. So somewhere along the way,
We
she
crossed paths.
yeah. And
That's cool. That's
I worked
cool.
for her for a while too, and then I just went back
Okay.
to become an instructor.
Oh, That's
Wow.
awesome. That's awesome. So let's go here then. What's your vision for your students when you were instructors? What's your vision for your students? What do you want your students to be, basically, or what's your vision when you teach or when you taught your students?
Well, we obviously want all of them to succeed. Everybody takes different paths. We always tell the students, you don't have to work behind the chair forever. You can either become an educator for a line, or you can own your own salon as well. Quite a bit of our students actually do own their own salon, so it makes you feel proud that you
Right.
see
Yeah.
that whatever you envision for them is actually becoming a reality.
Right.
Well, it seems like anything like they do, like let's say if they start off, they just need maybe experience, and then the experience will tell them where they want to go.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like do I want to stay here or do I want to take it to the next level? And that's pretty cool.
Right, that is cool.
That's really nice.
Same question for you, Ms. Rios. Let me ask it again. What's your vision of your students when you were teaching them? Did you have a vision for them? I'm sure basically y'all gonna have basically the same question, the same answers, because both of y'all are professionals. You both taught instructors courses or were an instructor and stuff like that. It's kind of the same, but it's kind of different. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So let me get your answer in reference to that.
Well, and my part was that when I was teaching, I was also a salon owner. So I would tell them my experience, the reasons why I started this industry. And I had 2 little ones.
Okay.
With this industry, you're able to set your own hours. You know, you have time for your kids, you have time for their games, for their practices, for their vacations, because you set your own hours for your clients around your family.
Right.
Because I feel with us where we work at, and I've been working there for so many years already, it's family oriented.
Right.
Family is first.
Right.
And the same thing, this is what we tell our students. You know, your family is first. Dedicate time to your family. But at the same time, like Ms. Osuna says, there's different paths you could take.
Of course.
Like being an educator for a line, platform artist, giving classes, workshops. We have students that do workshops on their own. We have students that have, like Ms. Osuna, business owners. We even have students that they open their own schools. So we have competitions out there.
Right.
But me as an instructor was like, whenever you have this student, your first student that graduates, she graduates, passes their test, their practical, and they come to you, hey, Miss, look, I graduated. I already have my license.
Right.
That's what I feel like. I feel so proud that, you know what? I taught her.
Right.
I made her get her license.
Right.
I'm giving her the right path.
Right.
you
The
know?
inspiration.
And we have all these young ladies that are single moms struggling. They have backgrounds.
Yeah.
And they feel that because they have a background, they don't have a future. And we have all these young ladies. I say young ladies because when we're little, we make a lot of mistakes.
Right.
So they kind of go to school and we guide them in everything, and they graduate, and then
They start making money.
they start making money, and now they're making money for their kids.
Right.
You know, giving that
so good.
example to their kids that, I mean, there's a future for
And that's what I was
everybody.
going to say, because to me, from what I'm hearing, y'all are role models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's very important because some people don't have people to like, hey, you're doing this or you're doing that. You need to do this. You need to do that. Some people don't even care about their kids.
Yeah.
So I think that when they come to your school, you know what I mean, and they have the people to care about them like that, I think that's awesome. I don't know if you think of yourself as a role model, but I think if you look back and what you're speaking of right now, as far as seeing them succeed, seeing them open them business, I would say they wouldn't have done it without y'all.
Yeah.
You
And
know
it's
what I mean?
easier for them to do it too because they see, well, she has it. She's doing it. You know what I mean? She has the business. She has the experience. I need to listen to her. You know what I mean? How many people do you graduate usually? Like, how does it work? Like, do people graduate? Like, how long does like a certification normally take?
It just depends on the course because we do have the manicuring course at 600 hours.
Okay.
That it could be from 5 to 7 months. We have the esthetician that's 750 hours. That it could be from 7 to 9 months. And then we have the Cosmo that it's 1,000 hours. That is from 9 to 12 months. But the biggest one that we have is the specialty. That is Mani and aesthetics. That is 1,200 hours. You're actually getting 2 specialty in one. That's a little bit longer, so it just depends. We do have enrollments every Monday.
Okay.
So we might have graduates every day.
Right.
We have graduates like 2 in a day. So we randomly have graduates in a weekly basis, monthly basis. So
is it based on like on their own time or could it be? Or?
well, we have schedules.
Okay.
We do have schedules for the students, but at the same time, things come up. That because they can't go during their scheduled time, we make arrangements with them. You know what? You can't come in the morning because your schedule. Come in the evening. So we could actually say we do have a flexible schedule, but we want to be aware what schedule they have.
Of course.
So we could be there to help them and assist them. Of course, we can't solve their lives, but we're there to help them in certain things, in certain ways, like for them to attend school and not stay behind or fall or drop out.
That's
Right.
good.
But they should also, I mean, I think y'all do too as well. I mean, if you're being flexible with them, then they have to meet that
Yes.
that expectation.
Yeah.
You know,
Put
'cause
it
I
in.
think people take
Put in the time.
take advantage of that. Okay, well, I can come anytime I want or something like
No,
that.
it's like we always say, you know what? Meet me halfway.
Right.
Of course.
I
Right.
give this,
Yeah.
you give me this.
Right.
You know, let's work together.
Right.
You know, and that's what we see with our students right now is that they're very comfortable in coming to us,
Okay.
especially with personal problems, because we don't know what goes on at home.
Yeah.
Everybody has personal problems and things like that. Sometimes people want to get out of their home to come to school
Right.
and get away from those problems.
Right.
You know,
Because
and
they go relate and They can get creative. Because I mean,
they're very creative.
I think everything that's in cosmetics is an it says
an
art
art.
because it is. It is an art.
It's an
art. Like and it's funny. I find myself following like local barbers and stuff like that, or even people that are in cosmetics, just because these people are so creative.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like their creativity and what they do leads to other things, like their creativity in putting together TikToks. Well, now you're a director. You know what I mean? Like, and now you're acting in them, and now you know what I mean. So I think when people explore their artistic side, I think only good things happen.
Yes.
But like when you put them in a 9 to 5 and you lock them in, like, and you put them in front of a keyboard all day, or you're just trying to make sales all day and stuff like that, and you're not really helping people like that, that's draining on your soul.
Yes, it can
It's
be.
frustrating.
It's frustrating. Yeah. And you don't and if you don't pay attention to it, you can get lost in it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you can get comfortable, and then that's when you just kind of realize, well, and it well, actually no, you don't realize, you just get stuck in it.
Right.
You can get stuck in it. But it's so cool that these types of things these institutions and these universities are around, just because people who feel in a low place can get out with exploring other options.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
like I admire a lot of the barbers that I go to, and sometimes it's like I'll just go into a random barber shop. I've never looked up the reviews and stuff like that, but I'll look to see who has certain styles and stuff like that, or who keeps their area a certain way. I'm like, I want a haircut with that.
The
And
clean one.
And sure enough,
Yeah.
you'll find some really dedicated people to
Yes.
their craft, and people that explore it and understand that there's a lot of money to be made.
It sure
yeah,
is.
it's a lot of
It
money.
sure is.
Like I understand, like building a clientele can be hard, and it takes some time, but I honestly feel like if you invest in yourself, invest in the performance of it as well. Like I like feeling like I'm being taken care of.
Right.
You know? So like it's all part of like the customer experience and stuff like that, and people who really invest in that, and you can see the things that they buy, the clippers that they use,
Right.
or it's like, dude, that
Oh
looks
wow,
like
you really into
That-
it.
it looks
Yeah.
expensive, man.
Expensive.
It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
you know. And then of course you get the guy that's super rough with you and just wants
Yeah.
to get you
Right.
out, and it's like, okay, yeah. Then you learn, but it's an awesome industry.
Yeah.
It really
And from my
is.
understanding, the students do the services. Of course, again, services done by the students, rendered by students to try
Supervised
again.
by-
Supervised
Yeah, we
by
supervise.
licensed instructors. I should have read it again, right? But they also help the students build their clientele.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
so when the customers come in, because it's a running salon,
They're
correct?
ready
Yes.
to.
Yes.
They're ready to.
Okay, and
have-
you
Most
handle
of
that,
us
right? That's all
Yes,
you,
that's
right?
my department.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's talk
Let's
about
talk
that.
about that.
What does it take, or what is involved in being a salon training director? What do you do?
First and foremost.
What do I do? I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
no, that's right.
There's a lot to go into the salon, but
Mhm.
mainly it's making sure that our instructors are supervising the students, engaging the students on an everyday basis. We always tell our instructors, make sure that your students are not like sitting ducks, right? We want them to every day to come to school and be like, what am I going to do today? What kind
Yeah.
of clients am I going to get today? When it comes to the colors, they get excited if they have like color corrections, or if they have maybe a complicated haircut that they haven't done. The instructor is always there for them. So my job is to make sure that the students are comfortable enough with their instructors, that they're teaching them how to meet their goals, rebooking their clients, pretty much how to
wow.
open their salon,
Okay.
build their
Making sure they're
clientele.
successful.
Exactly.
Making sure they're
That
successful.
sounds like
At the
a
end of the
in
day,
a
that's what it
salon.
comes
pretty,
to.
pretty
In a
stressful
salon.
job.
And we tell them whatever clients you build here, you're gonna take them with you. They're not for us. Of course, we have clients that are very dedicated to our school because they like to help the students out. But we always tell them whatever you build here goes with you. So it's always best to learn how to rebook. Actually, keep your client satisfied and with good customer service, and
That's
of course
good.
your
Client
technical skills
retention.
as well. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. So, so not only just a salon, but what about the products? You also maintain
Yes,
the
we have a
products?
retail
or-
store
Okay.
where we do tell our students, we educate them with product knowledge all the time. Of course, they have to be educated in order to educate their customer. So we do have a retail store where we always show our students different products from different lines, like the lines that we carry are Chi, Lanza Healing Hair Care, and they
Will
learn
that be
how-
product knowledge?
Yes, that would go into product
Okay.
knowledge because they have to learn the product in
Right.
order
Yeah,
to sell
to
it,
sell
right?
Right, right.
And then
Or even know how to charge for a haircut, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
okay.
Because I mean, I'm sure they have to factor cost and.
They have to prep from the very beginning. They take care of their clients from like something so simple to shampooing
Yeah.
all the way to the haircut to actually styling the hair. So all of it, coordinates together.
Mm-hmm.
So we do teach them how to build that business well because part of you actually working at a salon, you have to promote your
product.
product.
Yeah, retail.
It's an extra commission that you get.
Okay.
Retailing is very important.
Okay. I think that's awesome. Yeah,
Thank you.
That's
And
awesome.
you guys really cover a lot of the bases.
The full spectrum.
Yeah.
The full
Yeah.
spectrum.
The business
Okay.
end.
What's the role of the school director? Because that's your baby. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, McAllen campus, it is my baby,
Okay.
and I'm willing to grow it more
Mm-hmm.
because I do have a great team. And one of the things that I do monitor is making sure that my instructors are teaching these students.
Okay.
We do have a curriculum that we have to follow, but at the same time, my instructors are able to give more
Okay.
than just a curriculum.
Okay.
Because remember, styles come in, go,
Mhm.
new eras, and things like that.
Mhm.
And that's what the students want to know. They
Yeah.
want to learn the new things coming up.
Yeah.
So I do have my instructors making sure they're training themselves, investing in their education.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if we're not prepared to educate, what are we going to give the students?
Right.
What kind of product can you offer?
Yeah, so
Right.
in this case, I do have to make sure my instructors are there on time, making sure they're teaching these students, making sure that they're not too strict with them.
Mhm.
In the fact, like I had mentioned earlier, people have personal problems at home,
Mhm.
and they
We're
want
here to help people.
Right.
And then,
I mean,
and
like-
they're coming to school, and if the instructor's on them all the time,
Yeah.
they
The
just
same
like, you
thing
know
that they
what,
get at
I'm
home.
leaving.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So in this case, I did tell my instructors, you know,
Mhm.
sometimes we have a student that is just so quiet, give them the space.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
They're
So-
here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right.
That means they want help.
Yes.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, and we
So-
do have some students also that just out of the blues just snap.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
they say, you know what, just come on, walk it off.
Right.
You know, take a breather.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know what happened at
Mhm.
home or whatever. Just
Mhm.
cool it off. Whenever
Mhm.
you're ready to come back to class, come back to class.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and that's how we work with our students, and also
So it's more like even though they're your students, it's more like a
a
family.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's more like a family, the aunts, the uncles, whoever's there as far as the staff is concerned. And it sounds like y'all really, really care about y'all students.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that goes back to the role model thing. Y'all, I think that's awesome because not only are you a role model to the students, but you're also to your own kids at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Teaches
they
you
see,
more.
they see exactly what you're doing, and they're
Yes.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
you
yeah.
know kids pay attention. So mommy's getting up, mommy's going to work, mommy's taking care of business and stuff like that. So I think I would say look more deeper in yourself and just really recognize who y'all are. Y'all two great women. Y'all are two great
Thank
women.
You, guys
you.
are- you ladies are doing a fantastic
Right.
job.
One of the good things is that whenever I go to restaurants, I don't know if it happens to you, Ms. Tuna. I go to restaurants and I go with my family and say, "Hey, Ms. Rios, how are you doing?" And they hug me. "Hey, guess what, Miss? I already passed my practical.
Right.
Hey, Miss, I'm already working here."
Right.
So my kids see that, and then my kids say, "Hey, Mom, your students love you."
Mhm.
I said, "Yeah." I go because I put myself in their shoes because
Of
I was
course.
in their shoes at one point.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been working with UCAS University in McAllen since 2013.
Okay.
So
That's a long
it's
time.
9 years.
You're right.
Yeah.
So it's something that I tell the students, hey, look where I'm at within 9 years.
Exactly.
I'm already executive director.
Right.
Something that I never imagined.
Yeah.
It's something you can
So
do.
there is
Of course.
growth inside the company.
Yes.
If you
Oh,
want
yeah.
it, you can get it.
Oh, yeah.
If you want it, you can get it.
That's
so
awesome.
so as beyond the students or beyond the instructors, do you have other staff that you deal with in your
Yes, besides my instructors,
Mm-hmm.
we do have, of course, Mr. Ovalle, the janitor. He keeps our school clean. He's awesome.
Okay.
Anything we need for him to do, hey, sir, this, hey, sir, that. So then, of course, I do monitor Ms. Osuna, and I do have a great staff, a great instructors that I don't have to be on top of them for them
Right.
to do their
Yeah.
job.
Right. Right.
Because as long as they're doing their job,
Right.
I don't have to be on top of them.
Right.
That's
And we
awesome.
have a group, great team that
Mm-hmm.
we work together. That each department runs on its own.
Yes.
I just monitor it.
That's
Right.
If for
awesome.
any reason I have Ms. Luna out, I step up and take over her position.
Okay.
If, for example, I have Amy, my assistant, if she's out, we step up, Mrs. Luna, and I step up to the department. Financial aid, admissions. If they're out, we step up for those departments.
right.
So I've even become a janitor too.
Right.
When we have a janitor, we had to scrub toilets.
Right.
Yeah. We get
Right.
dirty with the
everyone,
students.
everyone there is you. Everyone has been there. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
I think that's how you treat people. It's like I treat you like you're me. You know
Right.
what I mean? And
Right.
like everyone that walks through these doors has probably the same ambition. You know what I mean? So I think when you have just a group of people all there for one purpose.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
I
Like
agree.
it's
agree.
kind of how I wish. I mean, most things were taught really.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If you wanted to learn something, you should just go to that place and learn it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like sometimes prerequisites and sometimes other things that get in the way of like real education,
Mhm.
like really educating people, like don't really give people an honest chance. I think.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like over here at the university, like, you know, I know a lot of people, like even myself, that struggled in college just because it took me a long time to get to the point. You know what I mean? Like, but I like the idea of just going to some place, I'm sure you all have prerequisites and stuff like that.
Right.
But
Mhm.
I like that you're solely teaching one thing, or
Yes.
not teaching one thing.
A
but
combination of things.
Yeah, you're teaching
Yeah.
an art, you know,
Right.
and people go there and they can absorb well. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a really, really well functioning team.
And that's what I was going to say. I mean, I was going to ask that question: how important is it to have that
Jeez,
team?
man.
But I would say, I mean, it's just like having a car, man.
Yeah.
If you have all your cylinders, 8-cylinder car,
It's
and
all
like one
running.
of them, and one's down, the whole engine
Oh,
is
yeah.
going out the
I
way.
mean, when
It's
we
going
have
out the way.
our here at the office, like we have our graphic designers and we have our videographer and stuff like that. When someome's out, we feel it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
Yeah.
But that
for
also
sure.
does mean that one of us
Has to
steps
step
up.
up.
Step up.
And that seems like a great work environment when everyone's not necessarily above anybody. We're all on even.
We're-
plane.
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Well,
nobody's
You know what
better
I
than
mean? Like,
nobody.
We're all on an even plane here,
Right,
and
right.
that's when you really can help people.
Mhm.
Yes.
When you're not there, you know,
Yeah.
and we're here.
On the same level.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right,
awesome.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I should go check y'all out.
You should,
should.
I guess.
You should stop by.
Yeah, here,
Stop by.
here. I mean, I'm in so many different types of offices, but yeah, I would love to. You know, what's interesting is that today I thought today's podcast was going to be a mobile podcast, and I thought we were actually going to do the podcast at UCAS.
Yeah, because he sends me a text like, "What's the address to UCAS?"
Yeah, because this morning
I said, "What do you mean?"
I woke up early and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to stress it. I'm going to go to the office early. I'm going to get literally all
Everything
of this
that you
stuff.
see was
no.
packed
All of
up.
this stuff. And you know what? I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to go back to my apartment, rest in a little bit, get my coffee in. And then I'm texting Lo, like getting closer to 12. And I'm like, hey, what's the address to UCAS?
Where am I going?
Yeah. And he's like, but it's at the studio. And I'm like, oh.
I'm like, oh.
my
Well,
God.
I'll
you're
be
more
right
than
there.
welcome to come in and shoot the school.
But
Yes.
yes, I would love
Yes.
to.
You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, because a lot of people think it's a small school and
Mhm.
it's
It's
not.
not.
a
Yeah,
school.
yeah, I'm
Not a
sure.
I would
small
love
school.
to. I would love to.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
and
visitors all the
anytime, you know, maybe even the second podcast that we have, you know, like we can go over there, and if you
And
have,
we just discussed that too.
yeah, and
We
if
can
you have
definitely
space
do
for
that.
it, I'm sure you all can think of a
I'm
space
sure.
that maybe we can accommodate.
Oh,
But
believe me, we have
Yeah.
a big space.
yeah, okay, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
we love that. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. All right, now would you recommend this school to people? Of course, you would say yes, but why would you recommend UCAS to someone?
Because that's what I always tell them. I was born and raised there. I was born there as a cosmetologist, as an instructor, and I'm currently working there.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I recommend something that I see that I'm successful in?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
that's dope.
Okay.
The same thing with me. I did my Cosmos there, my instructor's there, and I got hired right after. Based on my part and my experience, me being there as a student, as a instructor, as a salon director, as an executive director, so I know all the roles. And we do have, like you had mentioned, we do have re-enrolls, but we also have students that dropped from other schools,
Yeah.
and they come to us.
Okay.
They come to
Maybe a
us,
better school.
and we prep them. And I'm going based on what they tell us.
Right, right.
Hey, Miss, you know what? You all have a great foundation. You have a great curriculum. You guys are teaching. You're teaching us. You know, you're on top of things and things like that. This is information from students from other schools.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, maybe our students might go to another school, might say the same thing. I don't know.
Right.
But in this case, in my part, I recommend UCAS University of Cosmetology and Science because me being an executive director and having Ms. Osuna as a salon director, as she told you, she used to work with me in my salon. I never said she was my employee.
Right.
We worked together.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though I was the owner, we worked together.
Right.
of course.
You know, and I had my business for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what UCAS had given me.
Yeah.
You know, me to be able to open my own salon because business skills.
Right.
If it wouldn't have been by that, I wouldn't have had my business.
Right.
Unfortunately, I closed it because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
people.
business-
Yes, a
yes.
lot of people
Yes.
got shut down with that. Yeah, for
But
sure.
I was actually working as an instructor, salon director, executive director while I had my business
Right.
too.
That's awesome.
So you're able to do a lot of things in this industry.
It's flexible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because if you can't cut, you can still teach.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, one thing that I like about the content creators is how well they put themselves out, like on social media. When they're not busy, one of the guys that I go get my haircut with in McAllen, he's like amazing at content creation. Like he's actually, I found him as a barber just because I found his content online, and he was, when I finally met him. And got haircut from him, he told me, he's like, man, like, believe it or not, like, and every one of his videos gets probably like maybe 30,000 views. Like
Wow.
it's like maybe 400 likes, stuff like that. He's like, he pretty much has his like Booksy and stuff like that completely full all the time, and he has like his that's got personal trainer, and he's like a super awesome dude. But he did tell me like there was a moment, man, where like like I needed to start putting myself out there a little bit more. I used social media during the pandemic, and it helped me stay afloat by just getting haircuts at home and stuff like that. He's like, and I was able to keep a full schedule at home. He's like, of course I wasn't necessarily supposed to do it, but of course, hey man, everyone's gotta do what they gotta do, and I respect that. But it was just cool to see someone still thrive, or hear a story coming from somebody who was in the trenches, and made himself successful, kept himself busy through the pandemic. Like I know a lot of people who got hurt through that.
And speaking on the pandemic, but speaking on the pandemic, how did that work for y'all at UCAS? Did everything just stop?
No.
Okay, you want to talk about that?
We kept going. Obviously, we had to go online for a little bit for our students, but then we figured out a way to get our students back because it's a hands-on. Like it's something that you literally have to work with your hands. We did online for a little bit. Then the instructors went back to the school while the students were still at home. Then we just organized the school with the shields, the masks, the 6 feet apart markings all over the school. And slowly we started going back into transition into our everyday to-day life because at the end of the day, life goes on. We still have to keep going.
COVID didn't even stop UCAS.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's about touch. I mean, how do you stop that? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you can't put necessarily a restriction on that. And people need to learn. But no, that's awesome that you all kept going.
So the students were learning from home.
Oh yeah.
How do you do that online? You said you were doing it online. What does that mean?
I actually was still teaching at the time when COVID happened. I had a whole little setup. It reminds me of this. I had like a tripod with my camera on there, my laptop, and I would just kind of have it from the top. I had a desk.
So like from Zoom or like from what?
We did Ring Central.
Ring Central.
We did
WhatsApp.
Yes, there was.
We actually
found ways to communicate
with
the students. I would record myself and I would send it to my students in a group chat and be like, okay, and I would, break it down step by step and then be like, okay, practice when you can. But then, we would see the students on the screen. We had all these students and it was difficult, but they still felt like, okay, we're at least still learning something.
Doing something.
My students got very into makeup. We would do different theater makeup, fantasy makeup, to keep them busy.
Is that part of the curriculum, the fantasy makeup and everything like that? It is. Okay. Okay.
It's awesome.
But it was different, but I had to find a way. And it was funny because I would go into my kid's bedroom because he had the better lighting, right? So I would sometimes send the instructors in the chat like, hey, look at my kid, like he's still asleep. But I had to keep going. I had to, I had to show my kids that wasn't going to stop me. But it was a lot of equipment. Yes, a lot of equipment, and just found ways to teach the students because they wanted to learn. They were eager to do something besides hearing all the negative aspects of COVID.
But that's also a cool thing to know that it could be done remotely too.
Oh yeah.
That's also a huge win.
Well, at first it was really, really hard because just one evening and it was starting tomorrow, we're working from home. I'm like, wait a minute. What? So we, at that point, the good thing, like I said, I have a great team. I have great instructors. We were also enrolling online.
That's what I was going to ask you.
We did enroll while we were online. We did enrollments. We email them the contracts and everything. They would fill them, send them back. We would do orientation because we do have to do orientation prior to starting your class.
Okay.
So we would do orientation monthly also. And then depending if it was going to be for Cosmo English, Manicure in English, we'll give them the information to log in with that instructor.
Okay.
So then they would introduce them and things like that. I would receive shipments in my house. And then from there, I would kind of sort out kit items and for the students to come and pick up at my house.
Wow.
So and talking, like I said, a great team and well specialized instructors, because my instructors, I mean, they invested in the equipment. They didn't say, oh, I need this, I need that. They didn't want to, they were not expecting for me to provide everything for them. They invested for their students.
For sure.
So all my instructors, I was like, wow, well prepared. Like Ms. Luna was saying, she would pre-record herself, email it to the students so they could know what they were talking about, what she was talking about, and for them to go back and refresh on what she was talking. So the communication with instructors and the students, and then I would meet with my staff every morning before class. How's everything going? They would send me the exams because the students would write in the answers, take a picture, send them to the instructors. They would grade them. They would send me the grade, and I would post them. I mean, all that we were doing while we were
everyone
working
had
home.
like a unlimited data plan.
So it was a great experience. It was a great experience, but that didn't stop you guys.
No, of course.
That did not stop us.
That's
No,
awesome.
and I'm even thinking like
That's
off the
awesome.
top of my head, like you could do live streams.
Oh, yeah.
You could do a lot of different things now, like even Twitch and stuff like that, where you can Facebook, YouTube, and all of those that offer live platforms for streaming.
Oh, yeah.
We
Right.
do have Facebook Live
yeah?
once a week for our school. Well,
That's so
all
cool.
the campuses do it. We compete against each other with whatever trends are going on. But McAllen does log on different every day, like with different days, and we do have our admissions rep that does lives for different departments.
Oh,
That's
that's
so
awesome.
cool. That's
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
And
that's
in
awesome.
what way do you compete? Like, what does that mean?
It depends on how many likes, shares, comments. We do like to reward our students as much as we can, so they can.
Do you all ever consider like the lighting? Like, okay, like
Yes.
like from a videographer
Yes.
standpoint,
Yes,
like you know
we
what I
do.
mean? Because that would make
We
me, I
have-
think, like y'all a little bit. You know what I mean?
A lot of our students are very into like the trends right now, right? So they'll bring like their ring light,
Okay.
their different tripods, and we walk into one of the offices because they'll use the office, and we're like, "What's going on?" And they have all these
All the
props,
setup.
and they'll have like different phones, one for the top and the angle this way, and I'm like,
Okay, so
Right,
you're ready to
okay,
go.
okay.
I don't need to say
No more
anything.
questions.
Oh,
No
yeah.
more questions.
That's good. That's
right?
good. But then again, you have creative people. You know,
Yes.
you
Right,
work with
that's
creative
true.
people.
That's true.
And these students are amazing because they all have this creativity,
yeah.
but they don't know how to start it.
Right.
So that's why we're here as instructors. How to give that foundation for them to start. As soon as you let them know how to start,
Off
they
and
bloom.
running.
Yes.
Yeah,
creators
right.
creators are absorbers.
Yeah.
And-
They absorb very quickly, especially if it's hands on and they can see it. I can learn it by looking at it.
Right. Right.
Or
You're a
hearing
visual
it.
learner.
Yeah, I'm a
Right.
visual learner.
Right.
But I just never really. I mean, I can sit down and read a book, but and I can pass a test.
I'll go to sleep reading a
I
book.
can pass a test. That's not hard. But to me, I just don't think there's much reward. You know, I feel like when you offer more hands-on, and I know there's tests and stuff like that involved in what y'all do, of course, but it's all again pertain to what and then of course that makes them lock in.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right, right.
It excels them because they're taking tests about things that they want to learn
Yes.
and want to excel in. So good on you. So
But
good.
I mean, we have different learners.
I was gonna say we have different types of learners. We have to figure out
Okay.
what works for each one. We have students that are visuals. There's students that you literally need to hold their hands and show them step by step. Some like personally myself, I have to have music in the background all the time in order for me to function. So I, as an educator, we were trying to connect all the dots all the time to make sure everybody's on the
There's
same
all different
level.
personalities
And then you
and
have
different
students
levels.
that
It's
you
not
know
all plug and play.
Yeah,
Right.
that might have special, maybe dyslexia or you have some of the students that have ADD, and you have to work with them. You have to find ways to help them out in order for them to feel like they're actually succeeding.
So
and don't
basically,
feel,
y'all want everybody to succeed because y'all don't tell nobody no.
Well, that's good. That
Nope.
like that's
Y'all
good
had
that
hearing
you-
impaired
you see
students there
that.
before and stuff like that too
Yeah.
as well, right? That is awesome.
No, it's
That
good
is
that
awesome.
you recognize that it's not all just one type of person. That's good.
Yeah, because
it
some
helps you as a teacher.
Yeah,
you
because
know,
some are sometimes
or an
embarrassed to
instructor.
tell you, maybe in high school they took like special ed or,
Right.
they were pulled to the side. So you see, as an instructor, you learn to identify that student that's struggling and is kind of staying behind and not really speaking up. So you kind of pull them to the side and ask them like, hey, did you really understand this? Did you grasp this?
Right.
And then they'll kind of look at you like, no. So then you go into, well, how did you do in high school?
Right,
How was it?
right.
And then that's when they'll disclose. But I don't want to say anything because, I'm embarrassed. I'm already an adult.
Yeah,
It
don't be
doesn't-
embarrassed.
No,
Everybody's
it doesn't
different.
matter. I'm
Yeah.
here, and we tell them we're here to help you so that way you can do something with yourself and not hold yourself back just because you have a certain disability.
Do you feel
Right.
like this industry is booming right now?
Yes.
It is,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's recession proof
Yeah.
because even with COVID, like you said,
It was
your man
still-
was still cutting hair and
See,
stuff like
and
that.
people
So yeah.
want to look good all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
hair, skin, or nails,
Right.
that wasn't stopping anybody.
Well, I think social media does that thing where like it brought down trends too. Like you see what other people are doing just because you can see a trend in New York. You can see a trend in LA.
Anywhere.
So I think when people just see that, and then you have talented people down here, they can quickly learn it. And now you see people down here with awesome haircuts.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was
Yeah.
like it's awesome. I love getting my haircut. I need to go get one.
There you go.
you
Come
go.
on, haircut.
And
Love
what's,
haircut.
I'm the worst though. I'm the worst when it comes to getting a haircut because I'll take like 3 months to get a haircut, and I look horrible. I'll go from looking. I know I have gray hair. I'm
welcome
not.
to the club.
I'm 35. I'm 35. I'm not in my 40s yet.
Or 50s.
I'm not in my 50s
Yeah,
yet.
thank you very much.
But if I let this get maybe two to 3 more weeks later, for sure I will look really, really old. But I tell my friends all the time, as soon as I get a haircut, I feel like a brand new person.
Yes, of course.
Like a brand new person. And then I'm like, now I get why girls like to change their hair so often. I do.
But
I
it's
really
not just
do.
women.
No.
We
Yeah,
have,
exactly.
right now, men are every week.
But it was more a thing back then. I think women enjoyed it more than men did.
But now men do too.
But now, because when I grew up, it was like my mom takes me to the girl and she's just gonna make fun of me a little bit and cut my hair and then I'm out, right? So that was my experience with haircuts growing up. I didn't go to a barber. I went to like a hairstylist, I'm assuming.
Because mom took you.
Yeah, because mom took me. So getting into like my earlier maybe 20s, I'm like, you know what? I really don't care about what my hair looks like anymore, and like I'm just gonna go see what happens. So I met a friend who was playing music in the industry that I was in around that time, and he was also a hairstylist, but he was also like learning barber. So I was like, well, you can always try it with me, and then that was the first time. That was the first time I got like a fade, and I was like, oh man. I like the experience. You know what I mean? Like, and then I started like, when I go see my brother in Austin, I'm gonna go to those barbershops over there, and then they put you in the seat, and they do
nice
all,
towel.
and it's just like
it's the whole
man.
experience. It's the whole experience.
I think sometimes it's a taboo subject where it's supposed to be like a girl's field. It's not. Men can get like the manis, the pedis, the facials. We have a lot of men that do go into our salon.
And then you go into some of these salons, and they're just so like welcoming. You know what I mean? And some of these guys or even women, like I've gone to haircuts from women before in Austin, and they're just as damn good,
if not better,
and just as particular too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you see the different types. Like I've seen the girls that are that can cut men's hair, and then you see the ones that have like they're all leathered out. You know what I mean? Like they got like the bronze shears, and like it's just like, oh man, like
she's a beast.
It's just cool to see like the industry and people get like particular with their things.
Right.
I'm like a huge fan in like tech and I have other hobbies that I'm very particular in. So I always appreciate an art where people like, even if somebody was a painter, and showed me like, these are the brushes that I use and told me about them, like it's almost even a common question I ask even barbers, like, what kind of stuff do you use? And I'm like, I don't really know what it is, but if you explain to me what it is and you tell me a little bit about it, then I think you care. You know what I mean? So
for sure,
it's cool to see people invest in their craft, and I think what they do allows them to reinvest in it.
Right.
But
everybody has to invest in themselves. Everybody has to.
It's one of the things. It's they need to invest in their tools, because that's where the money comes from. And that's something that we do with our students too. We teach them the difference. We also have people from the outside that come and show them shears, clippers, hairstyling tools, and let them know the difference of
what's out there,
the quality,
the quality of the shears and things like that. So we tell them right now, you're a student.
Right.
I mean, do not invest in a $300-400 shears
Right.
or scissors because you're working on a mannequin.
Exactly.
You don't want to mess those shears. We always tell them, like, your shears is like your husband.
Right.
You don't share your shears with
Right, with nobody.
Wow,
yeah, because if they fall, if the shears fall, they kind of bend the tip, and that's it.
Right. Okay.
So they're sacred.
Yes.
They're sacred.
That's good.
So what it sounds like to me is that the school as a whole, everybody supports each other, whether they're students. What about the upper management? How are they with the school too as well?
Well, each campus has their own director, and then from there we do report to corporate directors.
Okay.
Then we do have Ms. Lori Salinas. She's actually corporate director.
Okay. Of all the schools?
Yes. The corporate directors, they're in charge of all the 5 schools.
Okay.
How far does UCAS extend?
From
San Antonio.
To San Antonio.
Well, we have 2 in San Antonio.
Did you hear me read it?
Harlingen and La Jolla and McAllen.
It was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. So the furthest it does get away is San Antonio.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We do have
So-
right
Right
now.
now.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
So is corporate over there or
No.
like main office?
Corporate is in McAllen.
Okay.
They're with us.
Nice.
All right,
Okay.
so you have Miss Salinas,
Miss
the corporate
Salinas,
director, and
a
then-
corporate director for, and then we have Miss Gisela Lanis.
Okay.
She's corporate education director.
Oh, all right.
And then we have Miss Diana Ramirez. She's corporate salon director. And then we have Tracy Aprado. She's financial aid assistant.
Okay.
From corporate. And then we have Mari Sierra. She's our financial aid corporate director.
For all the schools. So,
For all the
so all
schools.
of them take care of all
Take
the
care
schools.
of all the schools.
Okay.
You know a lot of people.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you have to, right?
Yes.
You kind of have to. That's cool.
Yeah, and the thing is that whenever a director is out, like for example, when I'm out, Ms. Osuna steps up. And then if we have my financial aid officer out, Mari steps in from corporate or Tracy steps in.
Okay.
So whenever we have somebody out, for example, if we have an admission officer from my school out, I step in. But if I'm busy with a student or X reasons, and Ms. Osuna steps into admissions, if she's busy, corporate steps in.
Everyone's there.
Yes.
Yes.
We
That's
always
awesome.
have somebody to step in the areas that we need help. That's why I'm saying I have a great team in McAllen.
So everybody is a team player from top to bottom. Everybody's on the same page.
Yes.
And that only leads to success, I would say.
How many students do you all have right now, like enrolled?
Right now we have actually 131.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
And because
So-
we had almost 13 grads this past month.
Wow.
What are
Yes,
the
that's
differences? Like, are the numbers rising, or like what were they pre-COVID?
Well, the thing is, it did rise. We did before COVID, we had a good amount. But then with COVID, a lot of people were so afraid. So they were still trying to be stuck at home. We did lose a lot of students because they went to a panic mode. They didn't
Right.
want to be around people or things like
Right.
that. But having the second time promotions, they were able to come back and finish their courses. Some came in within a year. Some came in, I think the last new one that we dropped in COVID, she actually came in last in November, and she finished within a month because she had very few hours to
Wow.
finish.
Well, that's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, we're giving those students the opportunity to come back.
Okay.
Not only that, those students, all these students that because they come to school, things happen, they're single moms or they get sick or kids get sick, and unfortunately they cannot continue their education. So we reach out to them when we ever have promotions. Hey, come back. We have this promotion. Come and finish. Majority of them do come back.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Right.
they all have a second chance.
Right.
That seems like a healthy number to be able to keep like the quality of teaching and the experience still like. But what is a lot of students? Is that a lot of students? No.
Well,
Not right
for us, McAllen, I feel that it's not enough yet.
Okay.
Because we do have a big campus. We're able.
I mean, even being able to say like we're putting out 130 very successful people.
Oh,
out,
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
like that's you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
I'm trying to downplay it.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is it seems like it's still a very, very healthy amount of people
Yes.
though.
Yes.
I would say so, but I would also say like probably there's a lot of competition out there too
Okay.
as
There's a
well.
lot of
Okay.
competition.
Right.
What do you all do to separate yourselves in as far as like to make yourselves seen more?
Stand out
Yeah.
from others. Well, we always take pride in knowing that our instructors are always hands-on with their students. We don't tell them, oh, watch this video, do this, do that. Yes, we have right now. We have SEMA, right? It's an online base where they can see their books and all that stuff. But the teacher is always hands-on, as opposed to we have heard that.
So their
others
books are digital then.
Yes.
Yes.
But like
That's
in a way, how do you all promote UCAS?
We do have a marketing.
We have a marketing rep.
We have been doing social media, and then of course cross-reference.
Okay.
And then we also have referrals by the students or grads.
Okay.
We also contact salons, or salon contacts us, because we do have career days twice a year
Okay.
for students that are graduating or students that already graduated. We invite them to come back in career days and that. So we kind of promote ourselves. I think that word of mouth is the best thing.
Yes, yes, it is. I think
Because
so too.
if you have one bad review, it kind of takes over the good reviews. But if you have too many good,
Oh,
it
of
kind
course.
of covers.
Of course,
you
course,
know?
of course.
So in this case, I feel that the difference from UCAS University of Cosmetology and Arts and Science from other schools is that, I don't know if you all know, you're not required to have an instructor's license anymore to teach.
Oh, okay.
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 You only have, if you have your stylist license or manicure license, you're able to teach.
And experience too as well, though, right?
Well, I'm trying to talk from UCAS, University of
Okay,
Cosmetology,
to
from other
somewhere.
schools,
Okay, okay.
is that these other schools hire licensed manicurists, licensed cosmetologists. Us, because we are an accredited institution, we believe in the quality of education we give our
Right,
students.
right.
So we are hiring instructors that have an education background.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I
Not
could-
just anybody.
Exactly.
Okay.
All the instructors that I have right now in McAllen, they all carry an instructor's license.
Wow.
They got the instructors in another school. They're with us, but they all have an instructor's license.
Right.
Now, I think from 2023, it's not gonna say any more instructors, and it'll be
Okay.
just the operators. But we're still gonna require our
Right.
instructors
Right.
for all campuses of UCAS.
Right.
All their campuses are gonna require an education background.
Okay.
So because we
Okay.
believe in the education we give to
Right.
these
And
students,
the quality of it too
you know?
as well. Yeah.
So that's why I actually say our school is different from other schools.
Yeah.
I don't know how they hire or how they work, but in our part is they do have to have education.
All
and they have to
professionals.
continue. And with us, every year they have to do continuing hours, a minimum of 12 hours.
What's the youngest you can be to get into UCAS
Well,
or apply to UCAS?
17, 18, as
Okay.
long as you have a high school diploma,
Okay.
you could enroll. You need a high school diploma or GED, driver license or ID. And of course, we do have financial aid for those who qualify.
Oh, okay.
So they do. You do need to bring your 2020 income tax return and see how much you qualify for.
Okay.
And for that, we do have our financial aid officer, Isaura, that she's able to assist you.
Okay.
Because some people kind of do it at home, or when they're in high school, they help you.
Okay.
Or some other schools say, you know what, just do it at home when you're ready, come in.
Right.
In our part, we invite them to come in, come and meet with our mission rep to give them a tour of the school, show them
Okay.
how the teachers work.
Okay.
Because our teachers actually give theory for 45 minutes, you know, the knowledge of the book, and then they do a practical demonstration, hands-on, and then the students actually practice what the teacher taught them. So the teacher's actually seeing how they're doing and kind of help them, hey, you know, do it this other way, this way. So we want for the prospects or people that want interested for them to come in and see how we work,
Okay.
how our salon works. And then from there, they actually go with Isaura and check numbers.
It'd be awesome to get like high school students like.
We do have
We do
students
have-
take field trips towards the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But
So
like
they
in,
can
in the
come
sense that they can earn like a degree with UCAS in high school.
No.
No,
But that's what I'm saying. I wish there was something like that. You know, like to even kind of, I don't know. I wish there was something more that like I see my girlfriend's son who's just getting out of high school, going into college. And it just seems like he's a fantastic kid, incredibly smart. But it just seems like there wasn't like, I wish they would give him a little bit more to when he
Right.
got out of high school. Because like I feel like because COVID, I feel like even kids that are even 18 right now are still kind of 16 in a sense.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They
Right.
lost 2 years.
Right.
You know,
Right.
kind of important years.
Yes, right.
And it just it would be cool. I don't know, to see high school students come out with a little bit more,
Well,
or to make more money, be able to make money faster. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's, I don't know. I wish there was something a little bit easier.
well, there's some high school school districts that offer the cosmetology course in their campuses.
Okay.
You know, and because of COVID and things like that, they didn't get to. They
didn't
did
get to
finish their
finish.
hours, but not the state board portion of it. So we do have students that graduated from other schools, you know, and they call us, hey, you know, do y'all offer refresher courses? We do offer those, and
Oh,
we have
okay.
a lot of grads from other schools.
Mm-hmm.
They come to us for us to prep them. For us to prep them to pass the written exam, and then for them to pass the practical exam.
Okay.
Not necessarily our students are able to come back,
Okay.
because our grads come back within 2 years, because if for any reason they couldn't get their license, they got sick, they move out of state, they have within 2 years to come with us at no charge.
Oh,
that's
okay.
awesome.
At,
Yeah,
at
that's
no
awesome.
charge. So that's
Okay.
something that we do
Very
also
forgiving.
for.
Yes.
So
yes,
that, and
yes.
also we even have students that have their license and never worked, and they come back, hey miss, you know what, I'm ready to work. Okay, you know what, this is where you're hiring, or we
Oh,
just-
so
we
you had
haven't-
job placement as well.
Placements
Yes, we do.
and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
That's
we do.
awesome.
Okay.
That's
So
awesome.
when you're done, you have a job.
And we, yeah, I mean, and we have a lot of, like I said, companies that contact us. Hey, you know, do you have any graduates coming up?
Okay.
Because they want to hire our grads because they have their own training, and right after they finish their course, it's easier for them to train them how they work.
want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Because they're still sponge.
Right.
They're still
right.
soaking
They're
Right.
eager
able to get
to
better.
learn.
All right.
That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
I mean, that's awesome. Well, what it sounds like to me is this is a school of empowerment, and y'all really helping the community. I mean, because these students are going out, owning their own salons and building up
Oh,
their
yeah.
culture, but they're also learning from you again, okay, how to be a mentor, how to be a role model for their family and their community.
Yeah.
So I think the University of Cosmetology, Arts and Science is dope, man.
You also mentioned about giving back to the community. We actually do that too.
Okay.
We do a lot of
we
community
did
events.
have back to school haircuts for free.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Right,
Okay.
before school started, and then we were before COVID, we were having it in August back to school, and then in December we were having that too. But because of COVID, a lot of things kind
Right,
of changed.
right.
So we're trying to go back in the row. So we did have a really good outcome this past August that we gave free haircuts to
That's cool.
the
Okay.
community. So
Okay.
hopefully in December we're able to go back
more.
again to
All right.
give that out too.
Well,
we can maybe even do a podcast that day or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that'd
yeah,
be
for
great.
sure.
Like live while
Oh,
it's
yeah.
happening.
yeah, that'd
That'd
be
be great.
awesome.
That'd be great.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Then you can get a free haircut while you're there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that'd be actually
Oh, but that's Miss Ozuna first. Yeah.
yeah, I'm really enjoying the podcast.
I know, right? All right. Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all coming out, Ms.
Thank you.
Ozuna
Yeah.
and Ms. Rios.
Saturdays
it's a pleasure
are, I
meeting
know,
you,
kinda hard
right?
to get
It's
to.
okay.
It's already time to go.
Thank
Is
you.
it? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I know, I was like,
I
oh.
told you to go real fast. But again, thank y'all so
Thank
much for
you.
coming to Off the
Yes,
Shelf
of course.
Underground.
So good to meet you.
And we're gonna see you soon. We can do that live podcast at the campus.
Yeah,
Awesome.
of course. Looking
Thank
forward
you.
to it.
All right, that's
Yeah.
a wrap.
right.
Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Bye bye.
You
All right,
too.
peace.
Bye bye.